Okay, Bernard, Lois, tell me how you actually met Al.
Well, we're very involved with senior groups and seniors activities. And while we belong to the Meadowville Senior Social Club, we also joined River Grove and we did carpet bowling there. And Al is a very dedicated carpet bowler. I know he likes lawn bowling, but carpet bowling, that's how we originally met Al at River Grove.
And Lois, what was your first reaction to Alan when you met him? What did you think of him?
I thought he was great, and the reason being that he's so out there. It's like, I want to be there, I want to do what it is that I can do for the seniors, and we got to get together, and we just have to be there.
One of the things that Alan sort of preaches is the fact that if someone says no to you, that it can't be done, he says there's always a way that it can be done. Have you ever seen this come out of him?
Oh yes, many, many times. Al and myself, which we probably will talk about, we work together on different issues facing seniors, and he never takes no for an answer. And you can see it when he's in a recreational mode. He's very competitive, which means he doesn't take lose for an answer either. He likes it, and that's good. We all like to get out on top, and that's a good point that Al always portrays, is that winning is important. It's not the only thing, but he's always very competitive, and that's what I learned most about Al. That he never takes no for an answer, and he never takes lose for an answer either.
Is he a good loser?
Well,
He doesn't lose much, so it's hard to tell.
well, I don't think, though, that many of us take a loss very lightly and very easily. But I think, he's got that ability to accept things when it doesn't go his way.
What are some words that come to mind to describe Alan?
He's got good, I think, leadership. I won't use the word stubborn, but he's really very pushed for action. He doesn't like to take no, as we talked about a little while back. But I was very impressed with his dedication and his seriousness in what he does. Whether it's having relaxation, participating in senior activities, but also when he's on the other side in playing a leadership role. That's what always impressed me as being someone always above the average.
And he's very involved in the senior games. Took that very seriously and did very, very well.
He has said to myself and Denise that he's trying to make a difference so that when we're seniors.
Exactly.
Can you kind of talk about that a little bit?
Well, Al and myself, as I mentioned earlier, we had a good relationship in dealing with seniors issues, and he was for a long time president of the Streetfield Seniors Club, and I've been a long time president of, and still am, of Meadowvale Senior Social Club. And what we talked about is to get a organization going that seniors issues in Mississauga can be brought on a better platform, and we can pursue these issues and take it to the authorities. So Al and myself and some others for many years, we had meetings, a couple of other presidents, to see how we can form the Mississauga Senior Council. And his dedication there was second to none. I could call on Al anytime. He'll never say no. He said, well, I think I can make it, I'll be there. Very supportive, and I think that's why we have always had such a good relationship, because I think we both on the same page when we want to effect change or see change being brought about. And Al, in the Mississauga Senior Council, which is very well established after 7 years of hard work, he has his sights on what is right and what is wrong. For example, we very recently wanted to publish a a magazine, a newsletter, with some people in Brampton, and he felt it's not what it's not what we're looking for, and he always says, well, you know, it's just my opinion, but his opinion at times is very valued, because we need to look at both sides, but in the end, whatever the decision is, whether it's the one that he's pursuing or not, he will agree and support that particular final decision. So he's very strong in that particular area in his life. He's looking how he can, with others, improve those less fortunate, especially seniors than ourselves. And there's many of them out there that, you know, need the help. They don't have the ability to speak for themselves. So people like Al and myself would take the issues to the next level, and the authority to deal with it.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to add to that, Lois?
No, I agree with Bernard totally. When Bernard picks up the phone and says, Al, can you be there tomorrow, or can you be there the next day? Al will always put himself out to say, no problem, I'll be there, Bernard. And they're very supportive of one another. And I always enjoyed that with Al.
So let me understand, how long have you known Alan for?
Well, I would say about 10 years now. Yeah,
It's more than that.
Yeah, at least 10 years that we've met, socializing with seniors activities, and then working on different committees together. And there was a time that Al was chair of the Mississauga Senior Games Association, and there his dedication shone, and also he wanted to do things right. And when you get people that I could almost say has the blinkers on, it's tough. I find those that is not ready to move in the right direction or ready for change, and that's why I compare Al to my outlook. Is we like to move forward, and we see things in a different light which others don't see.
This is kind of a tough question, but how are you feeling now, knowing that Alan isn't going to be with us for a long time?
Well, devastation, I think it's a very mild word to use. I don't even want to think about it, but the question is being posed about not having Iran. I think, I know it's going to be a loss to the family, but it's going to be a big loss to the community. He's always proud of the fact that he's, of his age. He'll say, well, I'm 84 years old, but he's a young 84 years old. And like we say, age is just a number. And Al is one of those that portray that saying and put that in the proper perspective, that age is just a number. So the community is going to have a big void, and people like Al don't come around every day. He's very passionate in what he does, and doesn't matter where we go, he's always pushing for a bowling green close by. That's the one issue that Al and myself support. I don't play green bowling, but this is what he sees needed, and I support him with that. And the other one is a senior center in this part of Mississauga. So Al and myself, we've had this on top of our agenda for the longest of time. Why cannot have a senior center in the northern part of Mississauga? And Al and myself always talk about the distance that we have to go to the Mississauga Senior Center on Carthew Road. They have a wonderful center there, but we don't have it up here, and a lot of seniors can't travel there. So we're limited in what we, as elected representatives of senior groups and organizations, we're limited in what we can offer seniors that can't travel. Tonight we're going to Flower City in Brampton. It's their 10th anniversary. We've been invited to, and I've been invited to come and speak. And Al been there a couple of times, and we both come back deflated, because to see a facility like that, and then you come back to Mississauga and you say, what is wrong with our city that we cannot have a comparable one where everybody in the senior group and in our senior population can enjoy. So his ideas are similar to my ideas, his passions are similar to my passions, And it's going to be like a big loss for me because we always worked in tangent together, as Lois just pointed out. Al was there whenever. When I pick up the phone, I said, Al, can you meet? Can we meet? No, I'll try my best, Bernard, and he's out there. And vice versa. If he wants me to attend a meeting with him, I would put off whatever I have to support him. So this is what I personally am going to really, really miss. He's very dedicated and passionate about what he gets involved with, specifically seniors and seniors issue. And it's going to be a void that I don't think we can fill.
So if you ever get that, well, let's say when you get that senior citizen in this area, do you think you could call it the Adley or Alan Ridley Senior Center?
That would be wonderful. If not, maybe even named after him. If that has a bowling green, that should be the Al Ridley bowling in memory of Al Ridley, because I think whether we together meeting councillors, whether meeting politicians, it's always coming up. I know that. Al's pet peeve is we don't have a bowling green that's in decent driving distance or traveling distance, and then he will tell you all the bowling greens in Etobicoke. He knows them all, and he says, Mississauga one, just got one. So that's a good suggestion that you made, Colette, and it's something that if I'm still around and I'm still able and capable of bringing pressure to bear on authorities, I think that's a wonderful, wonderful idea. Pat Sato, our councillor, said is back on the table again, the idea of a senior centre in this part of the city.
Can you, Lois, share me maybe a humorous story about Alan or something funny, a memory that you might have?
Well, Al always had.
1 second. Sorry, go ahead.
Al always had a good word to say about everything. In fact, we had a meeting about 2 months ago, and I was making up coffee and tea and croissants and whatever. And the next meeting that we had, I couldn't be there because I had an appointment. And he turned to Bernard and he said, "Where is Lois? I need Lois to make up my croissant. She knows exactly how I like it. And where's my coffee? Now what am I going to do?" Bernard said, "Well, you're on your own now today." But he was always very complimentary, always very much obliging, anything he did. I'm sorry to say that I walked into a meeting at River Grove thinking that it was Al, and it wasn't Al. It was the president of the Streetsville, no, River Grove, the president of River Grove, and I only saw the back of him, and it looked like Al. And I went, "Oh, hi, honey bunch, how are you?" And of course, when he turned around, I thought, "Oh no, it's not who I thought it was. I thought it was Al. Where's my Al?" And Al did not show up that day, and that is very, very unusual because Al comes to everything. So that's the only story that I can have that I can say that, you know what, Al, you let me down. I thought you were there. And I hugged the guy anyway, because I had to.
Is there anything else you want to say about Alan?
Well, I mentioned the fact that we looked at having a platform and where we could advocate for seniors from a position of strength. And Pet Sato told me, organize yourself and you can come to council. When you organize and when you have true representation, don't send me a letter from the club or from yourself. I can tell you it's going to go nowhere. But if you send a letter and it's coming from, say, 20, 30 clubs, and you're the representative, it will have a big impact. You may not get everything you ask for, but I can assure you it will be looked at very positively. So that was the beginning of Al and my conversation about starting a group. Well, we did not originally call it the Mississauga Senior Council, but eventually that's the name we ended up with. And it was tough. Al and myself tried for years and years to get people coming out. We had snowstorms, we had meetings planned for the worst snowstorm in Meadowvale's history or Mississauga's history. And Al was there, and of course with one or two other, we had to cancel a meeting. Then we put it back and we have another snowstorm. Al was there again. So Al and myself were the prime movers in establishing the Mississauga Senior Council. And today it has over 40 senior clubs affiliated with it. And we are well established, and Al has been on the executive of the Mississauga Senior Council since its inception about 5 years ago. But prior to that, for 2 years plus, we worked very, very hard to establish the Mississauga Senior Council. In fact, I guess it would be okay to say this, that we want to honor Al for being part of the Mississauga Senior Council in some tangible way while he's still with us, because we appreciate what he has done for seniors in this part of the city and for the entire senior population in Mississauga. Very dedicated person, and that is what I would really miss when Al is no longer with us, is his dedication and his passion to work for change. And I don't know whether I'll ever find another friend. I regard him as a good friend, a good colleague, and someone very, very special. And he's going to be sorely, sorely missed. I know the family is devastated. We that know Al very well are devastated. Everybody that knows Al is well known in the city and outside of the city because of his involvement with the senior games and for many, many years his involvement as president of Streetville, and of course lately for the past 5 years serving on the Mississauga Senior Council executive.
And I will miss him as a wonderful hugger.
Okay. Very good.